Making sure all this is working. Hello, hello, hello. This looks like it's going. All right. So at least it looks like I'm live on YouTube. Possibly. Yeah, it looks like it's going. Anywho, all right, we're trying some things out here. This is still a very new channel. We're doing baby steps here. It's only been about 3 months I've been doing the channel in general, and now I'm trying to do some new things for the upcoming season so that we can keep having chats about the Magic, because that's really what this channel is all about. The channel is really something that I thought of because when you go online, you don't really get a lot of Magic love online. So I think the big thing for me is to try to continue to increase the love that the Magic are getting. And now it's perfect. It's a perfect upswing time where people are going to start saying that they've been Magic fans for years, even though they've always been hiding about it. So now we're going to see how people start to come over to the Magic fandom. Okay, so we're waiting for the game. Obviously, the game doesn't start for a little bit, but really what I wanted to talk about now is just kind of getting the ball rolling on where we see the Magic going to be this upcoming season. So obviously there's a lot of chat about it on, are we going to go to the champion, are we going to go to the NBA finals, are we going to be just conference champion, are we going to make it to the Eastern Conference finals? That these are all things that are really on the table right now, and it would feel like a big jump, but it's not something that's too surprising because we've done it a couple times in Magic history where we've gone from first round exits to all of a sudden going to the NBA finals. So obviously we had young talent back then, and that was really what was propelling us. And now, guess what? We got the young talent, and we're ready to go. It feels like this upcoming year with the addition of Desmond, with the addition of Tyus, with the addition of Jace and Noah. No shade to the guys who left. They were great players in their own right. It just didn't feel like they were able to really get us over the hump and what their limitations were. So all the love for Cole, all the love for KCP. I know people are really upset with KCP last year, and not saying it wasn't unfair, because it's definitely was something that he was brought in to make more threes. He was brought in to really be that shooter that we were hoping. But after that try, it seems that we went and we pivoted real quick, which was good of the Magic front office. Jeff Weltman did a good job in that respect, because he could have sat on his laurels and just kind of been maybe like la 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 la. We're gonna go a second year with him and try to see if something were to get better, and if just maybe it was a down year for him. But instead of doing that, he immediately pivoted, went younger. KCP wasn't very old. Desmond's only in his going into his sixth year, but he, as an older guy coming into the league, he's a little bit older. So everybody's talking about him like he's this veteran of 10, 12 years, and that's not really Desmond. But obviously him playing 4 years in college at TCU and him with his experience in the Western Conference, it's really going to be an addition that's going to help the team immensely. So I was hoping to get the player profiles out for the top three guys on our team for Desmond, Franz, and Paulo. It didn't happen. Just family things came up, so I wasn't able to finish those. But I've already gotten a lot of the film. I'm doing some of the editing now on their player profiles. So it's been interesting to watch just how Desmond plays, and I can't wait to see how he does in this game. Just because he's probably going to go at half speed. I assume it's been, to be honest, it's been a while since I've watched a preseason game. I haven't really been hyper focused in that much to watch a preseason game. But now I'm a junkie, and now I'm going to be hyper focused, and we're just going to be checking out on the team right off the jump. So even though it's basically training camp still, obviously, like they only had a couple days of training camp, so we're going to see a lot of our exhibit 10 guys, I suspect. It looks, looking up here, it looks like Franz is considered a game time decision. The other guys are not game time decisions. Noah might be a game time decision. I don't know what happened to him, but we're likely to have most of the guys at least get a sweat, and then maybe just call it a day, basically, because we don't play for another 7 days after this, I believe it is. So they're just going to kind of take it easy, I would suspect. So hopefully we see some improved shooting in this game. Hopefully we see guys engaged on the defensive end, at least, again, enough to show the schemes that we're going to do. The same thing with offense. We may not run up and down the court. We may not expend too much energy because, again, they want to kind of slowly ramp up the aggression and the pace. So, but it would be cool to see what kind of offensive sets we have. If the addition of Joe Prunty is something that is really something that is going to make such a positive impact on the offense. So let's hope that. The same for Coach Shamgod. I think he's going to be more in the developmental area. So if we see that there's a sharp lessening of some of our turnovers, then I think that's going to be a lot to do with Coach Shamgod's coaching and developing of the players. So I think that'll be really great. So I think that's what we really want to see from this game. We're not going to go too crazy in checking out if like what did Jace do, what did Franz provide if he ends up playing. Like, okay, is Franz shot there? Is Franz shot not there? For me, I just want everybody to embrace the hitch. Right now, he's got a hitch in his three. It's not as pronounced as it was last year. Again, looking at the film, going through all of it, I can really tell you that it's not anywhere from what it was. So that's something that everybody needs to kind of gets to get accustomed to seeing it. Likely, the only, I don't know, for me, having watched him in Eurobasket and watch how he can still be pretty streaky and still get on a roll and start hitting them, it's all about shot selection. That, I think, is going to be the key for both Paolo and Franz this year, is shot selection. In doing Desmond's breakdown, basically, of his last season, he just pulls up from anywhere, and it almost feels like he has no conscience. He gets the ball, he's running up and he's shooting. He's running up, getting the ball and shooting, which is great if you can shoot. Now, if you're one of these guys like Paolo or Franz, who their shot isn't there yet, or maybe it will be this year, but it hasn't been there, let's say, that we want to make sure that they're shooting it as efficiently as possible. So shot selection, I think, will be key for them. So hopefully we start seeing that in this game, that they just are able to pass the ball around. They're able to get the ball to the open man, and the open man gets the shot and hopefully makes it. Last year, there were guys that were open. They just missed them. And it kind of is just what it is, at least at the beginning of the season. That was the real interesting part, or the bad part, let's say, is that they started the season off so poorly that it just got into everybody's heads, and it just kind of kept them malaise the whole time. And even though by the end of the season they were shooting better, that still doesn't mean that they shot super well. They were shooting better, and people like AB, like to speak of him just individually, he, after February, he was basically shooting at 39% from three. So that's just something that everybody needs to kind of get behind, and that the Magic can shoot. We've seen a lot of the guys shot way better in their past. It was just a 1 year blip, let's just hope, because it's very rare that a team is going to shoot 31, I guess if you round up, 32% from three over the course of an entire season. So it just didn't work out for us in the end last year. But this upcoming season, if people put in the work, which I think they did, as we saw on a lot of their socials, people were putting in that work. Let's hope that the shot selection is what is going to be the thing that hopefully Paolo and Franz are able to focus on for this upcoming year. Let's see if we're able to see any of it from this game in particular, because that's what we're hoping for, building blocks. Like they keep saying in media day and in the different media availabilities after practice and after training camp, it's stacking days. Hopefully just the first of many stacked days from now until June. So I think that to me is the key thing that we need to make sure that people are realizing that this is the first game. So if they score 80 points this game, is it great? No. Well, we obviously want them to score much better than that. But if in the end that's what they get, then that's what we get. Like it really is, as simple as that. Now, the big things for the season as a whole, like we'll talk about it now, and then I'll try to do another live stream for the last playoff game. The next two playoff games I have family commitments, so I likely won't do one. But I think the big thing we're looking for is obviously consistency over the course of the entire season. So hopefully we're starting to build that when we start doing the here at training camp as well as during the preseason. But we really want the consistency, and it's the consistency of effort, consistency of shooting. Like the shooting is going to come and go. There's going to be lulls throughout the season. It's 82 games plus playoffs, so obviously they're not going to shoot at such a high level every single game. So that's something that we also, we have championship aspirations, or we have contention aspirations, but that doesn't automatically mean that we're gonna now shoot 40% as a team to from 3-point land. So we need to understand that that's gonna be something. But we want consistency. I think we want just a better offense. We want to be out of the bottom 10 on offense. That it's something that they've been kids that are in middle school that have never known the magic to not have a bottom 10 offense in the league. So ball movement, as everybody's talked about as well in different media availabilities, they want to play faster. They've said that before. So now we'll see if they're going to be able to actually do it, because that's something that is just going to open everything up. It's going to allow for us to create mismatches. It's going to allow us to be able to go and post up Franz real quick on the smaller guards in transition. Franz in the open court, if you watch Eurobasket, he is elite. Like that's something that we don't have to worry about Franz. He will definitely be an all-star if he's going to get just these extra points here and there on the fast break. So yes, we want him to shoot better, of course, but I would just be excited for Franz just getting in the open court and really pushing the pace, because he's so freaking tall that he just needs like 10 steps from half court and he's already at the basket basically. So I think that's the thing we want to see here. It's a little more of an offense that we can also count on, just not being out of the top 10, but also being able to kind of see us running plays. Last year, we were doing a little bit too much read option, it felt like. So guys weren't comfortable in it. And you can just see that there was just a lot of standing around. The more I watched Desmond's film from last year with Memphis and Tyus's in Phoenix, you just kind of watch these offenses just pass the ball, and there's so much movement and there's so many things going on. And then when I sit and I watch the Magic highlights from anybody, you just watch that there's so much isolation. There's just so much less movement on the Magic as there was on other teams. So hopefully, with more pace, if we're able to continue to go faster, then all of a sudden, boom, we're going to be able to score an extra 10 points a game off of just transition. And as they mentioned, like Jamal Mosley kept saying, converting on the other end, converting on transition. Yeah, converting, but it's not even that once we get a stop or if we turn the ball over, it's if somebody scores, you get the ball at the basket, you throw it in, and we go. Like that's the type of thing I think, we need to be really focused on, so that we're able to get everybody a bit more, confident. And as they mentioned, like Jamal Mosley kept saying, converting on the other end, converting on transition. Yeah, converting, but it's also it's not even that once we get a stop or if we turn the ball over, it's if somebody scores, you get the ball at the basket, you throw it in, and we go. Like that's the type of thing I think, we need to be really focused on, so that we're able to get everybody a bit more engaged throughout the course of the day, and also just get people going, because the more people touch the ball, the more energy is in it, and the more people are going to put effort. It's just human nature, huh? They're not robots, as a lot of the guys mentioned in media day. They all have to get their minds right. They all have to feel engaged, and I think that's going to be the easiest part and the best way for them to all end up being engaged. So I think that's what we're looking for in this first game. Defensively, I'm not really looking for too much. Like if it's like the NFL in any way, you see that the defenses sometimes lag behind the offensives in the beginning of the season, just because they've there's a lot less training camp in the NFL now and all of that. So I don't know if that's going to be something that we're going to come out of the gate really hitting hard, the defense. I think that's something that's ingrained in the team. All the guys are invested on the defensive end, so I don't see that being any issues at all. Tyus is obviously Tyus is going to be you know a little liability, let's say, on the defensive end when it comes to the playoffs. I don't think people are going to pick on him on defense in the regular season. It's just not something that happens as frequently. Same thing with Desmond. Desmond is they're both adequate defenders. They're not elite defenders, so hopefully we're able to still scheme around them. But they help so much on the offensive end that I think it would be okay to end up in the top five, maybe not the top two on defense, maybe the top five, just to be able to get out of that bottom 10 on offense in the league. So I think that's going to be that. Yeah. So I think those are the things that we're really looking for from this game. I don't know if like again we'll see if everybody plays. We'll see how long everybody plays. I don't think people are really going to be going all out, obviously, in this first game. So we will see Jace. I would suspect. I would say again. I think we're going to see our Exhibit 10 guys. I think that's going to be something that we'll see. So the second half of this game may not be the prettiest, but again, if we're locked in, just to make sure that we are really understanding what this team is about, I think that's going to be something that'll be pretty cool to watch from this first game. Other questions? I think if we look at the season long stuff, like how good is Paulo going to get, or how good has he been over the course of the summer? What has he done to better himself for him to be in the MVP conversation, which is what I've been mentioning in many videos over the course of the summer? He definitely needs to just be more efficient, and that's what I talked about before about him having better shot selection. There's a lot of been said about Desmond's ball handling, or Desmond being an additional ball handler. If you watch the player profile when I release it for Desmond, he makes a lot of very simple passes. Like, he is not one that is going to do the super super flashy play. So he'll end up getting 14 assists, which he got twice last year, but that was mostly because they were able to shoot in Memphis and they were able to get pretty easy shots because of the offense that they were running. On the Magic, that wasn't the case, obviously. What the season high from anybody on this team was 11 last year. So that's going to be a thing. So Desmond is basically just going to be helping mostly from 3-point range. And that's going to be something that hopefully will open things up for Paolo. And Paolo will be able to take advantage and be able to have better shot selection instead of being by himself on one side, posting up, or even just facing up and then taking a mid range contested shot. He's able to make those, which we know, but it's still a matter of, okay, is that the highest percentage shot? Is that really going to help his true shooting? Because if his true shooting just jumps up, then then again, it's going to get all those advanced nerds off his back. And I think that once you get to that level, that's why Shea and Jokic, not only just the counting stats, but the advanced stats, they're so above and beyond. That's why they're just considered the MVPs and the front runners for this year on MVP, if they're both going to be healthy enough to be eligible. So that's what Paolo's going to need. Better shot selection this year. Hopefully, that's what Desmond's going to bring and Tyus is going to bring. We'll see who starts, because with Jalen out, we'll see if they're going to start Jace or they're going to start Tyus. We'll see. Maybe they start AB. Who knows? I don't know who they're going to start. So I think that's going to be an interesting as well, just to kind of see what they end up doing with the starting lineup. But Paulo, I think that's going to be an interesting subplot for us to watch all season long. What is he going to be? Is he going to end up being all NBA as we all expect? Is he going to be in the MVP conversation? That for me, the only thing he needs is just to be more efficient. Everything else will come from that. Everything else is in him to do, as we've seen since day one. So I think that's going to be the big thing to watch over the course of this season is how good Paolo's going to be, and all of us can go along for the ride on that. For Franz, it's always been 1A, 1B in Orlando with Franz and Paolo. Is Franz also going to be along for that ride? Is Franz's 3 pointer going to keep him from making all NBA conversations, from making an All Star appearance? I doubt it'll keep him from an All Star appearance, but really sneakily, if they're only selecting 8 foreign-born players to be in the All Star team, little round robin or whatever they're planning to have, then if you look at it real quick, it ends up being okay. Giannis is one, Jokic is another, Shea is another, Embiid if he's healthy, but I don't think that's going to happen. Shangun did pretty well this past season, so that's 4. If Anthony Towns, if we're counting him as a foreigner or an international player, then that's going to be another one there. So like now we're picking for the last few spots. So I thought he was already going to be an all-star last year, obviously pre-injury, but even when he got back and when you're prepping for this year, I suspected that he was going to also end up being an all-star just organically because of his growth and his play. But now I was like, oh, now if he gets pigeonholed into international player status, then I don't know. I worry that you know, the spots might end up being or might start to shrink quicker than we all expect. But I think in the end, with how good he played in Eurobasket, he was top. He ended up being in the all tournament team, let's say, in the all five, I think is what they called it. So we know he's great. We know he's going to be somebody that's going to excel in most aspects. Now we'll just have to see if the 3 point shooting is going to come back around. And then for me, the interest of Desmond, I think, is the exciting part. Watching Desmond and how that's gonna go. Um, is 267 going to be in danger of falling? 267 is the number of 3 pointers that Dennis Scott made, and that's the record in one season. So he made in the 95 season, 95, 96 season, I believe. But yeah, so we'll see if Desmond's just going to be brought in to literally just launch and just shoot. Dennis Scott shot a great percentage back then. Like it was interesting to do a little bit of research on that. So that's great. And Desmond shot about that same percentage a couple years back. So if he's able to put it all together and increase his 3 point output, then maybe we can do it. Last year, a few players went over 260. So if he's able to do that, then that's going to be an incredible plus for the Magic. And again, he may end up as a first time All Star as well. So I think that's going to be the exciting bit. And then it's just X factors. What are we going to get from Jalen? Is he going to be healthy this year? Is he going to be able to be all defense again? Is his shot going to come back? AB's end of season 3 point shooting, is that going to translate to this season? Is he going to continue to get stronger and get more aggressive to do that? What are we going to get out of the center position with Goga and Wendell and Mo when he comes back? Like, is that going to be something that we are going to have a round robin situation? Are they all going to stay healthy? Like all of those questions are going to be the fun ones to kind of watch for the rest of this season. And then what are we getting from the rookies? What are we getting from Jet? What are we getting from any of our two-way guys? I've been saying the two-way guys are very important this year because we're only going to be carrying 14 guys this season instead of 15. So if we have a few injuries, which hopefully that doesn't happen as much as it did last year, then those guys are going to have to contribute. So having Orlando Robinson, having Jamal Kane on the court is definitely going to be something that we need to make sure is beneficial for us, that they contribute, because that's going to be something that we need from them. I'm guessing Jamal's going to spend more time in Osceola than Orlando, just because with the health in with the history of some of our guys being injured. I think that's going to be reason why we keep Orlando with the main club more often. He'll be kind of like the Trevelyan of this year, so we shall see on that. But yeah, I think those are some of the things that I'm looking to for this upcoming season when it comes to for the Magic. But we'll talk all about that, especially in the right before the first game. That's going to be something that I'm really going to be diving deep and talking about that. We take preseason with a grain of salt. We'll see how things go. It's not going to be the end all be all, of course. If people shoot, if Franz shoots 0 of 10 from three, will it be great? No, it won't be great. But is that going to be the end all of his season? And now he's going to end up shooting 15% in the season. Let's not get over our skis on that stuff. So I think everybody should just sit back, relax, and enjoy the game. It's going to be pretty cool atmosphere. Them being in Puerto Rico, so we'll see how they come out, and we'll be along for the ride. So I'm basically done from here, and what I'm going to do is end this stream and go into the play-by-play stream so that I'll just sit there and chat for a bit. And if anybody wants to drop any comments or any chat questions, and we'll do that then. So I appreciate you and thank you very much for watching this little pregame. We're trying some things out. We'll see if it works. If people like it, then we'll continue to do it whenever I can, just because it's not going to be as easy moving forward, just for a multitude of reasons. But if it's something that will work out, then we will do it. And if there's something that's not going to work out, then we won't do it. It is what it is. So thank you very much for watching. Um, this was the Orlando Magic Nation, your source for all things Orlando Magic on YouTube. For Magic fans, by a Magic fan. I really appreciate you watching this video and spending a little bit of time talking Magic with me. Thank you very much. Hope you're having a great day.